Want to achieve network marketing success? Then you're in the right company. Hello, and welcome to Leave Nothing to Chance, hosted by networking marketing giant, John Solleder. Learn everything you need to know about the network marketing space from somebody who's actually done it. Join us every week for front row seats as we feature some of the finest and most successful personalities in network marketing. Leave nothing to chance. Join us now.
Well, it is my pleasure to welcome Shauna Daddabbo. How are you today, my friend?
I'm well, thank you. How about you?
Thank you. And thank you for helping me because I have such a hard time saying names sometimes.
All right, everybody, I grew up with that. I got yabba dabba doo, all kinds of things. Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, you're a good sport, right? It made you tough.
Right. It sticks. People
Exactly.
Don't forget the name.
Exactly. Well, welcome. You are just a remarkable woman. Every time I talk to you or I talk to your uncle in Boston and he tells me the things you're doing in your multi-level business, it's extraordinary, especially since you do it part-time and you're a mom and you've got so many business ventures going. You're such a leader in so many categories. And I admire that so much. And I know our listeners do. But before we talk network marketing, let's talk about some of the other things. I know you're a business strategist and a coach, a life coach. So Tell us about that a little bit.
It took me a while to figure out that that's what I was doing. But as a leader, growing up in Boston, Mass, I went to school in Sharon, Mass. I noticed that in anything that I ever did, I always did it with someone as opposed to by myself. I always had a group of women included in that. And in doing so, I was mentoring, leading, showing the way, creating principles and tools, strategizing to help women in anything that we were doing, whether it be performing arts or starting a community group or a book club or a cheer squad or stuff. I was always starting something that I had a modeling agency that involved women and uplifting them. And so I took it on to life coaching and showing women how to reach their highest potential in anything that they want to put their hands in, and mostly focusing on women who are single moms or struggling without parents, more so in the disadvantaged areas of Boston, Mass.
Mm-hmm. And you started several other companies, I know, along those lines. Now, you're the CEO of She Is Boston also. Tell us about that.
So She Is Boston started after I lost a female due to a gunshot in Boston, Mass. I had a mentoring modeling agency called Gorgeous Women Operating Paper. And so paper as in paperwork, administration, and money. And what we would do is go around and be the socialites of the party, interview and uplift women on how to utilize not just their looks, but their smarts in the modeling industry to gain income. And so I would teach these young girls how to be professional and independent. And so they weren't, being gravitated and pulled in the entertainment industry in wrong different ways. And one of my models was passed away, and I took it up a notch and decided that I didn't want to just deal with the entertainment industry. I wanted to deal with women who want to become entrepreneurs and how I can show them how to do that. So She Is Boston is also She Is Boss. She is blissful. She is bold. Okay. It's an acronym. She's in business. And so I started that in 2013 in memory of her, because she wanted to start a group home for women as well. And so I started that and just started to help women gravitate towards their dreams and show them how they can do it step by step. It's a free organization that I started in Boston. With that being said, we started a reality series because I was sought out to be on a few different reality shows for being in the entertainment industry. And I says, I also had Divas Mentoring Divas, which is my youth program, ages 5 to 17. The reality series was a little too ratchet for me. So I started my own YouTube side of things in which young girls can go on YouTube and watch women become entrepreneurs as opposed to this ratchet mess that they're showing on TV these days. So we're women who can mentor young ones who I already had a group of 60 individuals that I was working with throughout schools and my own dance program. I had two stations in Boston and Brockton. So the older women would mentor the younger women. So Divas Mentoring Divas was my youth mentoring program.
Wow.
And then I started my own wine within She Is Boston, the reality series. And that blew up overnight. So
you are a
that's
busy,
what She Is Boston is. So
you are a busy person.
Yeah, very busy. I don't try to stay. I just naturally stay busy. I like to keep moving and grooving. I don't know what it feels like to sit on a couch for more than 20 minutes not doing anything at all. I can't do it. It's not in me at all.
And tell me about the wine business a little bit. You mentioned it, but how did you get in the wine business?
So I went to Italy in 2006 with a group of people, and my grandmother, Helen, is full Italian. And so I never really knew the background of the Daddabbo family. And with that being said, we created our own wine in Italy while we were over in Treviso. And when I came back, I said, I'm going to start my own wine in memory of my grandmother. Well, she didn't pass yet, but it was soon to come. So I wanted to start my own wine because she was Italian and I thought it was cool. So I was always in the clubs and in the entertainment industry. I knew a lot of celebs and so forth. So I thought it would be something awesome to do. I have never not accomplished one of my dreams or goals. I've accomplished all of them. I might have gotten there and said, this is. And so at one point, after getting my wine into 34 liquor stores, 4 clubs, and 5 restaurants by myself, I'm like, this isn't good. I'm like promoting for people to get drunk. So I kind of stopped it for a while, but I am getting back into it here in Atlanta, starting Daddabbo Wine Co. So, yeah, that's the wine thing. I love it.
Well, you certainly are an entrepreneur, to say the least. And I know, before we get into the network marketing questions, I know you also have worked with a lot of celebrities. So if the ones you can talk about, if you want to tell us about a couple of interesting ones or the nicer ones.
Like you, I was a VJ. And so with Gorgeous Women Operating Paper, I had my own DVD magazine. And so this is back when DVDs was good. And I would go to different events and have my press pass. And I've interviewed people like Gene Simmons, Kim Kardashian, Bun B, Russell Simmons. I've interviewed Clinton Sparks. I've interviewed a lot of celebs, and also was around a lot because I was in the entertainment industry. I was part of a 5-girl pop girl group called New View. And my artist development management developed people from Gladys Knight to Usher to P. Diddy to Janet Jackson. And I was fully artist developed for 5 straight years here in Atlanta, Georgia. They were really they were going to make me the next Beyonce. And I pulled out. I didn't like a lot of what I was seeing in the entertainment industry, but I was around a whole lot of, I went to Africa with Akon in Cape Verde, which is where my family is from. And so that was the first time ever I was able to go out to Praia and watch Akon perform. I performed in a club or 2. It was awesome. But I've been around a lot of celebrities, Rick Ross, Waka Flocka. I was out there with them New Year's Eve for a show. So I've been around a lot of people. Yeah, Chris Brown, you name it. Yeah.
That's like a who's who of entertainment.
Yeah, I've been around. I lived in 8 different states as well. So I'm a world traveler. I love to travel and dibble and dabble and meet different people and start businesses in other cities and states just to network. I like to network with different people and learn and see what I gravitate towards. And I love to start new things. I love to start new businesses. So that's how I became more so of a life coach and teaching people how to become entrepreneurs, because I can't do all the businesses, but I can help people and be a part of it.
Well, and you're doing that now in network marketing in a very, very successful way. So let's talk about that a little bit. Now, I know you've read my latest book, Leave Nothing to Chance.
Yes, inspiring.
And what's your favorite principle?
Create balance. Create balance. I'm a Libra, and does help you stay on track, as you say. I have to have balance in my life. I'm clearly multitask, but if it feels off to me, then I start to get out of whack and I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, let me delete this. Let me add this. Let me put more of this into my day because that's what I need to stay balanced out. I don't know if it's just a Libra thing. I think that it's for everybody, because I come across people that are unbalanced and they don't really seem to grasp the idea of that it's possible that you can get off track not being in balance within yourself, I believe. Within yourself, are you gravitating towards things that you want to do or that others are pushing you to do is very important to me. And so I always stay here and say, stay on track, Shauna, stay balanced, create a space where everything's balanced, not just for me, but for my children. I'm a mom first.
Mm-hmm. And how old are your kids now?
Oh, I have a 13-year-old. She's taller than me. I have a 13-year-old. I have a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 3 kids, 2 very young, multiple business ventures, and creating balance, I would say.
Very, very, very important. Yeah.
The next book I write, you're going to write the chapter on it, because you understand that better than I do.
And multitasking. It's very, very, very important. Multitasking. If you even knew what I had to do just to get here for 12, I literally got in the door from dropping my kids off to their dad, and it was funny. It was funny.
Well, thank you for doing it. You're a remarkable person, to say the least. But I've got a few more questions for you. Okay. Obviously, with all the success that you've already had in your life and that you're going to continue to have, self-development is certainly something I'm sure is important to you. Yes. Do you remember the first book that really, either that you read or the first book that really got you, where you said, I'm going to take some of those things and I'm going to use them to create my life? Oh, yeah.
The Secret.
Okay.
It's different, but it's The Secret. I'm not a big reader. I'm big on writing. I've been writing for years. I used to write every single night in my phone. And it's always a poem. It's always a poem. I teach poetry to my girls, my mentoring group. And I would say The Secret really hit home for me as far as connecting with my inner spirit. And I was never big on religion because it wasn't big in my household. And I felt that there was always a disconnect with that for me. But after reading The Secret, I says, that's that voice. That's what's going on there. I'm a sensitive. I'm an empath. I take in everything. I had a near-death experience at the age of 16. And when I came back, I knew I saw things differently. I had a different purpose in life. And to know your purpose, and to me, is really, really big. And I don't think people think about that or even try to grasp what it is. And so journaling and writing for me helped that come out and became more clear to me. And The Secret just made it even more clear for me. So, great. A little different.
Right. So let's say today that somebody comes along and they say, Shauna, you've got all these businesses, you work so hard, you manage kids. We're going to give you a little vacation. We're going to take you to a deserted island, and we're going to give you plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of shelter. Don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. but you could only bring 3 self-development tools with you. And it's okay if they're not books, if they're podcasts, if they're videos, if whatever media that you want, that you like to be communicated to on. In addition to The Secret, obviously, would be certainly one of them. But, if you had 3 more, what would they be?
Well, I would need, can I bring my computer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I would need my computer. I live for my computer. I in my businesses, I do everything from the graphics to creating my own websites, my social media. I've done everything. Though I know I need to, back off and let some other people take control of that. But I would need my computer. That's one thing, because I have to work on business. And then I would need a photo album of my kids and all of our experiences on in there. And then I would need a journal for writing, a big journal for writing. And then I would need my YouTube, whether it's on my phone or something of sort. And then if it's a book that I would reread, Curtis Lee Thomas, The World Is Yours. I love that book as well. And I can never get through every single chapter. So I leave space to go back. So I jot down on pages. I've never in my life read a full-fledged book. Like every single page. I've never. I did not like reading growing up. So I'm more of a listener. I love to listen to Abraham Hicks, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins. I love to listen to people in the morning as soon as I wake up, listen to morning rampages. I go to sleep to listening to people. Just educate on life experiences. I think that's what it's all about. That's what keeps me grounded, is to listen to other people's experiences.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you mentioned journaling, because I was with a company here in Dallas back in the 90s, and I had the privilege to go to lunch with Jim Rohn. And we were having lunch, and I was with 2 other gentlemen in addition to Mr. Rohn. And we had all been taught for years in the direct selling industry, take notes, keep journals. And we all did. But we were at lunch, and it was casual, and it was, we thought it was casual. And we showed up, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. He looked at the 2 other guys who were about 20 years older than I was. And he said, these guys, this is too late. They can't be fixed. He said, you, on the other hand, are still young. I was about 35 years old at the time. He said, you can still be fixed. I knew exactly what he was saying. You would have thought I was Usain Bolt running to my car to get my journal to take additional notes to what we were already talking about. So I love the fact that anybody who journals, the value of that and the power of that. And sometimes it's a simple idea you write down and you go, hey, I don't even know why I wrote this down.
Right.
And 2 months later you find it and you go, oh, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Love it. So let me ask you this. Now that you're involved in network marketing, is this your first experience in network marketing with your current company?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. not as well as you're doing.
I've touched them all.
Okay.
I've touched them all because I'm a supporter. I'm a big supporter. And I feel like a lot of people do it. So anybody that comes on to me, I give the system the benefit of the doubt. And I get involved to help that person. Or if I think that it's really lucrative or worth my time, I'll get involved and try to work the business, but I don't ever force myself to do anything. So I've done them all. I've touched them all.
Okay. So you do have a lot of experience in this space. So let me ask you this along those lines. So, we're living at some weird times. I guess that word would probably sum it up, right? We've had COVID, we've had whatever, it's been 18 months of, craziness, and who knows what the future holds. Hopefully it's all going to get rectified, but who knows, right?
Right.
That being the case, there's been a lot of people who've been displaced with this situation. And let me kind of tell you what I'm looking at here. If we had a father and son, let's say, or it could be a mother and daughter for that matter. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But let's say a 25-year-old person and a 60-year-old person Okay. And they can be related. They can be, father and son, mother and daughter, whatever. And the 25-year-old has a good education. Maybe went to a good school, right? In Boston, you got tons of good schools. In Atlanta, you do too, of course. Right? They went to a good school. They got a good education. They did everything right. Okay. Yeah. They did their homework. They took out the loans. They did what they needed to do. They got that education. And all of a sudden, they just were starting their business career, their life, doing whatever it is they were trained to do. And all of a sudden, COVID comes along and that door slammed in their face. And at the same time, the dad or mom, 60 years old. I pick 60 because I'm 60. It could be 65, it could be 55, but the older version of that young person, that individual perhaps was getting to the end of their business career or their work career, right? Whatever that they did for a living. Maybe they were in senior level management, maybe they were in sales. And once again, things are different. Income for most businesses is not going to be the same if they even still have a job. So, for years they had heard about network marketing and they said, that's good for, the guy down the street, but I'm doing whatever I'm doing and I'm doing well at it. And, I'm not interested in that. But now all of a sudden, because of the pandemic, they now are looking and they're saying, wow, I need that additional retirement income. Or maybe they have other kids that are going to need to go to school that they haven't put money aside for, or whatever, right? Everybody needs money for lots of different reasons, but they now are in this situation. So they say, you know what? We know Shauna is a successful entrepreneur. She has been for many years. She's done multiple different things. That network marketing thing seems like something we ought to take a look at. And they show up today at your home. And they say, Shauna, why should I, as a 25-year-old or 60-year-old, consider network marketing either as a plan B, part-time business, or maybe even as a full-time venture? Because what I did before isn't going to be there, down the road. So how would you guide them? What would you tell them?
Well, I tell them that, one, to look at the history of it. There's lots of successful women, as you've told me in the past. This network marketing is 70% women. So I would tell them to look at the history of it. I would show them some examples of compensation plans and how they work and how they double up really fast if you put in a little bit of your time. But most importantly, you get all the time back that you need in your day from just working something as simple as network marketing, whereas all you have to do is share. And some people say, I'm not a salesman, and that's probably what the 25-year-old would say. I'm not a salesman. And the thing that I like to educate on is that we aren't in sales. Okay, we're in sharing. We're in sharing. I think that sharing is caring. And if you have a great barber, if you have a great car salesman, if you have all these people that, serve you in different ways at the waitress or the waiter, they're basically, you ask the waiter, what is your favorite thing on the menu? They're not selling you the favorite thing on the menu. They're telling you personally, with passion, how they feel about that creme brulee or the chicken piccata, whatever it is, right? And so I think that it's a sense of sharing, especially with this day and age with social media. You're selling all day. Would you take the word and you change it to sharing? It's a little different. Yes, you just shared that shirt, those glasses, those headphones, that background, whether it's a palm tree or a store. In the back, you just shared it to the whole world, right? 25-year-old, you do this all day. You're selling. You're selling yourself. You're selling your earrings. You're selling your glasses. You're selling the headphones. You're selling the back. You're selling whatever it is that you have there. And so now that you're stuck at home because of the pandemic, first sit with yourself and see what you're passionate about. Are you passionate about health? Are you passionate about wealth? Are you passionate about products? Are you passionate about traveling? And then those would be the network marketing situations that you would get involved in so you can be more passionate about it. But really, all it is sharing. And I think that's the stigma that a lot of people stick onto when it comes to network marketing, as well as the pyramid scheme. But I would lay that out to them. As long as it's something that you can be passionate about, you'll be able to naturally share it. And at that point, you'd have fun doing it. Putting in an hour a day can definitely get you to the top in any network marketing situation, so long as you feel in your heart that you are genuinely sharing something with someone as opposed to selling them. I don't think it's a selling point at all for me in anything that I do. I share passionately, the hair products that I use, what works for my skin, the gas that I put in my car, that kind of thing. So we're sharing all day. So I think it's the language. And so that's what I would tell the 25-year-old. Like, listen, it's pandemic. What else do you have to do? You're going to go play on a joystick? What are you going to do? So says, listen, what interests you? There's so many different network marketing opportunities out there. Pick which one interests you and go at it passionately. That's what I would tell the 25-year-old. The 60-year-old, okay, well, you got nothing to lose at this point. At this point, you're 60. What are you? You're not going to go play on a joystick at home. What are you going to do? You're probably going to read some books, watch some TV. I'd first say, turn the TV away for a little bit, educate yourself on some network marketing, see who the gurus are, and at 60 years old, coming from corporate America, they're going to understand numbers that easy. And once you could show them the numbers and say, it's really not a waste of your time so long as you are in the right network marketing company. And not only that, once you get involved, you start your own team. So you're the CEO of your company at this point. Now is the time for you to not working from corporate America, if that's where they're coming from, to work for yourself. Take everything that you learned there. You didn't get to step up to the ladder and become supervisor or VP or whatever it was that you wanted to do. Now it's your time. Now it's your chance to do that. And at 60, it's very, very easy to do so. You have a Rolodex of friends and family at this point. So it's very easy for you to share. Same. I think sharing is my key point that I hit people with when speaking to them about this opportunity. It's very new to them. Sharing is my key word.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. So that is great advice, because I think one of the preconceived notions that people have, whether they're 25 or 60, is, I'm not, to your point, I'm not a salesman.
Yeah.
You're not really selling anything. You're just informing. You're almost like the old public library. Like somebody's getting information from you, and then they're saying, "Oh, I'm interested in that. Let me go further." Or, "I'm not interested in that. That's not for me." And make your own decision. I love it. So let me ask you this. So you've been an extremely successful entrepreneur in other spaces, businesses you had to start from scratch, literally go out and incorporate or, create structures and then create the marketing, create the sales force, create the identity. Compare that, if you will, for a moment to how simple network marketing is, in the respect that all those things are done by the company. All you're doing is kind of taking a finished product to market.
Oh yeah. I say that all the time when presenting. Is like your investment, because that's what it is. It's an investment. Your investment is what you get out of it is delivered for you. And it's so professional and so easy. All you have to do is add your picture. It's done for you. And coming from the standpoint where I love to start up, I love to start up businesses. So it's really easy for me at this point. I could do it in a day. For anybody, for myself. It's very easy for me. But had I not have any experience in that, and being able to just have it all handed to me, even my business cards, the product, promotion tools, strategy tools, training sessions, presentations, just the network of people that you have to go to lean on and get advice from is even more phenomenal. So I would say that basing it on the two all day, network marketing, where it's done for me, and I could just sit here and say, okay, thank you for that information. Now it's time to go share. Even if you're an introvert, how can you share? Oh, I'm not social. I don't like to talk to people. You don't even have to talk. Text. You don't even have to talk these days. Text, or you can even go into someone's direct message on Facebook that you know is in need of whatever it is you're trying to share, and just send them an instant message. That's how easy it is. And so everything being drafted for you and formulated at hand, and all you had to do was pay a fee to get involved. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for me.
I love it. I love it. Well, because you know the difference. I mean, you know, so many people have never started any type of business,
Right.
and they think sometimes multi-level is hard. Well, compared to the real world of business, because you know, I've started a few non-multi-level businesses over the years. It's like I got to do everything. Multi-level, all I got to do is take this finished good out there to the consumer. So you know, I'll give you a good example. I'd love your reaction to this. I mean, you're living in Atlanta right now, and you've got Coca-Cola bottling company there somewhere in your neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the numbers on this, so don't hold me to it. But I've been told that some of the Coca-Cola distributors, not the company, but the distributors that own the rights to Coca-Cola in markets, you know, like Atlanta or Boston or Dallas or wherever, that they're some of the wealthiest people in America. And think about it, right? They're not making the product. They don't need to worry about the marketing. What are they doing? They're basically providing the consumer with something that they want, right? And you think about that, whether it's Coke or you know, other brands like that are very, very successful, where 90% of it's done, they do the other 10%. It's almost what we do in multi-level. Love your reaction to that.
Right. Well, even starting the wine business, that's the same thing. I had to go out from scratch and create the bottle, create the label, create everything, and then go into these restaurants, liquor stores, etc., and sell it. At that point, I did have to share. I had to give out free samples to get people to even recognize it and see, well, why do I want to deal with you? I had to have a resume of, oh, I know this, I've done this, I know this celebrity is going to support, and blah, blah, blah. So yes, I could definitely see why the Coca-Cola distributors, it's easy. Coke has been around for years. People trust it. People love it. It's easy to stick a vending machine anywhere and fill it with Coke, and it will be sold out probably in the day. But I think that is a great comparison to network marketing in corporate America or starting up your own business. And it does make sense 100% why it's so much easier to just jump into something that is already formulated and formatted for you. Just take it, share it, as opposed to having to do all the different steps and re-educate yourself. You didn't go to school for starting a business, so you have to pay so many fees for your licensing, for your marketing, for everything, insurance. With something that is already done for you, the company pays for it. It's so much easier. So yeah, Coca-Cola. And I've been to the Coca-Cola Museum out here. It's awesome. And looking at the history of it and how many other products they own, have rights to. In China, they have Germany. The amount of cans that were on the wall, it must have been like 75 that I never even knew were connected to Coca-Cola. Like even like Capri Suns. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. But yes, I 100% agree. When something is already drafted up for you, it's much easier for you to just take that and share it, as opposed to having to create the whole, inventing something. Yeah.
So I'll ask you the last two questions, I promise, because I know how busy you are.
No, it's okay.
Why is this industry of network marketing ideal for women?
Because we like to talk. I would say it's easier for us to get someone's attention on speaking to someone, getting their full attention. I would say it's easier for us as women to get someone's attention as opposed to men, I believe, just from experience. I've had men take me into business meetings with them to speak for them because they felt that the deal would just be even more sealed. There's the icing on the cake for women. So we have charm, we like to do our research a little bit different. And I think that we like to compare and contrast personally and get into the person's personal life that we're speaking with. It's more of a, I don't want to say a gossip conversation, but it ends up being more in depth as opposed to feeling more business, where a man who is more stern and straight to the money and straight to the point. A woman is more compassionate and as opposed to a man's sternness. I say we get into the nitty gritty on why this would work for that person that we're speaking to, whether it's a male or a female. We get down to in depth on why that person personally, I think it was more personable, and personally needs whatever it is that we're sharing. And that's what sells.
Yeah,
that's what sells. Someone feeling the love.
Exactly. Well, and women, and
Yeah.
I've worked with so many women now for most of my career, and you're right. They're much better at building relationships than we guys are. Not as a rule. There's exceptions, obviously, but you're right too. I saw a show years ago. I think it was in Toronto, and it was called, I'm going to forget the name of it now, but it was called The Caveman Defends His Life.
Okay.
And it was a one-man show. And the guy, he had movies of him and his wife and crazy things like him taking the milk out of the refrigerator and drinking it out of the thing, and her coming along and handing him a glass, right? And, the kind of the John Gray, Men Are From Mars, women
Yeah.
from Venus, or, all that stuff, right? He was playing on. But he said in that show, I'll never forget this, that like a guy comes home from work and, says to his wife, says to him, honey, how was your day? And she wants to hear the whole thing. He says, that was okay. And that's it, because a man anthropologically uses about 2,000 words per day, whereas a woman uses 7,000. So at 5 o'clock, when the guy comes home from the office or the factory or whatever, he's uses 2,000 words, but she's still got 5,000 words left at that time of the day. So that's always, some women get mad at me for saying that, but I think, hey, it's logical. Women are just better talkers, and they like to talk more than we do for the most part.
Yeah, we do. Especially after, being home all day. Yeah, you want to see what was going on in the outside world.
Exactly.
You want to know a little bit more, and you're giving me, it was okay. It's like, okay, let me go call my girlfriend and see how her day was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me do this. I'm going to give my little MO here at the end of the show, and then I'd like one more question from you to wrap up. Okay. So my name is John Solleder. The name of our show, of course, is Leaving Nothing to Chance. You can go to all of our archives on leavingnothingtochance.com. You can read our books, Leave Nothing to Chance, that I wrote with my co-author, Foster Owusu. And prior to that, Moving Up 2020, that I wrote with a co-author named Keith Hooper. They're both on Amazon. They were both Amazon bestsellers. If you're in network marketing, read them, please. So I'm going to give you the last word, Shauna.
Okay.
Advice for men, advice for women. What one thing can they do today to make themselves better, to make the planet better, to make their futures better?
Close out the noise and listen to your inner self. Close out the noise. Stop for 90 days. However you can. Try to go as long as you can, just listening to your inner being, journaling, and without radio and or TV, and really get to know yourself. Because a lot of issues in your life or challenges or problems, however you see it, come from you. And so not others. So you really got to get in the realm of your vibration and frequency and what you're putting out there in the world. You're definitely getting it back. So I would say that. I would say close out the noise, and that will help you figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish and learn, and your journey. It will help you with your journey. And remember, we're all here on a life experience. We're not, and tomorrow's not promised. So take the time to do what's good for yourself first. And then when your cup is full, run it over. So I would say that.
Great. Well, Shauna, it's been a privilege. It's been fun. And thank you again. And I want you to be a guest in the future because I want to keep up with you, not only network marketing, but all the other businesses. And, all I can imagine is you must have roller skates there in the house with all the stuff that you do in a day. So keep doing it. Keep inspiring.
Thank you. And I appreciate you for having me here today. This was awesome. And I'll be back. You know where to find me. Okay.
All right. Thanks again.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Leave Nothing to Chance. If you want to know more about what it takes to succeed in the network marketing space, join us again next week for another amazing episode. For additional resources and to connect with John Solleder, visit leavingnothingtochance.com. Don't forget to leave a review, and we'll see you next time.